This is a position where you have the opportunity to have no ceilings in reference to how much you're going to make. And if you're sitting there focused on a no, then you have already put yourself in a position of a limited belief. So you have to be in a situation where you believe in your heart and in your soul that there is no limits to how much you can make. And the only way that you're going to be able to get to that point is through activity. And the only way that you're going to be able to push through activity is to know that, hey, although there's going to be some no's, some hang-ups, some rejections, there's always somebody out there that's willing to say yes.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, it's Aaron Wittenstein, and I would like to welcome you to Vulcan7 Roadmap. This is where we chat with agents across the country to learn how to take just a lot of listings a week is the best way to put it. And we got a fun one today, by the way. We got a fun one. Jos Linton from Atlanta, Georgia. She's a brand new agent, absolutely brand new agent. Like how new? Like you like January new or like how new?
Like December new.
Okay, just for reference purposes, this conversation is having November 1st of 2024. So she's like almost a year into the business, right? And and with Vulcan7, she has managed to build a massive pipeline of future business. So tell me a little bit about that, because everybody wants like the now, while you're kind of building for the future. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. Aaron, thank you so much for joining, inviting me to this particular platform. I'm so excited to share my story about Vulcan7 because it's something that I definitely talk about to agents in every brokerage firm that I meet. In reference to my journey, when I started off coming from corporate and shifting into a space where you're actually an entrepreneur and you're owning your own business, there was just a little bit of like, exactly what can I do or what can I be in real estate? So quickly, I identified that I wanted to be a listing agent quickly. So as I'm going through my training with my brokerage firm and everything, and they're giving us different areas of how to prospect. One of the things that really set close to my heart was, oh my gosh, so there's a CRM out here that has all of the leads, and we can actually connect with potential prospects to get these listings. This gets me closer to the goal of being a listing agent. Well, of course, I was a little hesitant of, moving forward with the Vulcan7. But when I heard about the promo and they had like this guarantee in place of, you get your 30 days in and you're able to get that listing appointment. And I was like, you know what? It is definitely worth a try. So I was so super excited to get on this platform to try it out and everything to get that listing appointment. I really loved all of the training videos that was provided by Vulcan7. I want to say that it's a very user-friendly platform. I have looked at other platforms before, but I want to say that in reference to the interface, in reference to how things are set up for the agents to actually maneuver through that platform, it was just so user-friendly for me. But I ended up referring it, like I said, basically to about 4 or 5 other agents out in the field that are currently using it, and they love it. They love it. Vulcan7 has allowed me at this point, I have 3 closings, but what I'm really excited about is that I began to become active in Vulcan7 in August. And here it is that we're in the month of November. So we're talking about this very short time frame, just a few months. And currently I have 7 listings that came from Vulcan7. 3 of them are lease listings, and 4 of them are actually resales where clients are like, hey, I would love to have you as my agent to come and sell the home. So what I enjoy is that with Vulcan7, there's so many different leads that you can get out of there. You can get the FRBOs, the for rent by owners, and that's how I was able to get the lease listings. They have the FSBOs. They have the off markets. You could do a neighborhood search. Like there's so many things that Vulcan7 can do that I'm just so happy about that I can share about. And Aaron, I will talk for days, so please cut me off. But I do want to share one thing about Vulcan7 that's so cool. In reference to me having the listings, we have the open house on the first week. Well, let me tell you what Vulcan7 has done for me. I'm able to do a neighborhood search around my listing for that open house on the weekend. And I basically call into the neighbors and everything to let them know, hey, we have an open house that's getting ready to come. I was able to actually get a lead from doing that prospecting through the neighborhood search around that open house for someone who is interested in looking to sell their home in 2025. Just basically me informing them there's an open house that's getting ready to happen. And if you know anyone in the area that's looking to buy and sell, this would be a great time because we have buyers in the area. And she was like, we sat and we talked, and that all came through the feature of the neighborhood search in Vulcan 7. So pretty cool.
Well, you're just taking full advantage of the platform now, aren't we? Right now, my gosh, you're like a big ball of prospecting energy right now. I love it. I love it because what people don't realize is with any type of prospecting, there's so many different areas, right?
Hmm.
And you, from what it sounds like, at least from what you're doing, is you're tapping into all of them,
Yeah.
and eventually you're going to figure out like, okay, this is my thing, right? And maybe it's this and this, and it's just it's getting a little like what people don't, and maybe you agree or disagree with me on this, what people don't realize is there's so many areas to prospect, right?
So many, so many. And I so agree with you there. I think when people look at, prospecting, they kind of hyper focus in one area. But there's so many different, like you said, areas that you can. And what's really great about Vulcan 7, in addition to that, is that, there's an area that provides scripts that are already written for you. Right. So you don't even have to really think about what to say because there's a baseline that's available already inside of that program that kind of gives you a start on what that conversation should look like. And you can kind of build off of that. So even if you're not familiar with how to have a conversation with someone who's a for rent by owner, an investor, there's actually like a template in there that gives you a baseline of how to have that conversation.
Okay, you said script, by the way. All right. And
Mhm.
scripts make my brain move, just so you know this. All right. It's like script. Boom, all right. Um, you said you'd be cool with this. So are you open to doing a role
Come
play?
on, come
Are you okay? What do you want to do? A furbo? You want to do a fizbo? You want to do expired? What are you in the mood for today?
on. Okay, so if you want to run a script, we could definitely run a script. Do you want to kind of run a Disvo script?
Dealer's choice. All on you. Whatever you want. I will be the opposite.
All right, ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi there, is this Aaron?
Yeah, this is Masters calling.
Yeah, Aaron, this is Joss. I am a realtor with Keller Williams, and I'm so excited to talk to you today. Aaron, are you the owner at the house at 123 Main Street?
I am. How can I help you?
Nice. Well, Aaron, listen, I help a lot of for sale by owners get their homes sold. So I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk to you. I got a question for you, Eric. Are you willing to cooperate with a real estate agent? Like, if we were able to bring you a pre qualified buyer willing to pay a price that's acceptable to you, Aaron, would you be willing to pay a real estate commission?
I guess I would. Do you have a buyer or no?
Oh, well, let me tell you, Aaron, I work with several buyers in the area as well as investors. And so we do have buyers. What I would need to do in this process is come out to your home and look at it from a buyer's view, take a couple of notes, and then from there, we can kind of talk about the services that I provide. And then also during that conversation, I'll be able to bring you a cash offer. And then we could talk about, hey, what are the next steps? What does it look like for us to work together? Does that sound like something you would be interested in?
I mean, here's what I'll tell you is we've had a lot of agents call, okay? And I think, like I said, we want to give it like another at least 3 weeks on our own before we start, talking to any realtors.
I totally understand and I respect that, Aaron. I would love to get in line to talk to you as one of the realtors for hire. Aaron, can you help me understand as you're interviewing these agents, these different realtors, can you help me understand what is the criteria that you have in making a decision?
We haven't really thought that far yet.
No worries, because I want to make sure that when I come to you, Aaron, I want to come prepared because when I come, I'm asking for your business. So I wanted to make sure if there's something that stands out to you that you're like, hey, I need my realtor to do XYZ, I want to be prepared for that. So, Aaron, let me ask you this question because this is a beautiful home. I've looked at it online. It looks like it's priced really, really great. Can you kind of help me understand, like, what kind of feedback are you receiving from the market?
I don't know. I mean, we've had like 3 showings and we've had 350 zillion agents call. So we really haven't received any feedback. We had one person that came through that made an offer, but it was way too low. And we just, we want our money. So we only get to sell it once.
No, I totally understand. Aaron, can you help me understand what is way too low to you?
Anything below asking price.
Okay, so right now I see that you currently have it listed at 450,000. So they came below that 450, and it's not what you're willing to accept.
No, definitely not.
Okay, understood. Okay, well, then I definitely have that. Well, like I said, I'm looking at the home, I'm looking at the price point and everything. I feel like this is something we could definitely move forward with. I would love to talk to you. I'll be in your area in Alpharetta tomorrow between 1 to 3, and then I'll be back there again on Monday from 4 to 6. What time is good for you?
You can come over on Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay. So Tuesday, if we do it on Tuesday, it would have to be another afternoon appointment from 4 to 6. Does that sound like that would work for you?
Of course it does.
Okay, perfect. And so, Aaron, let's just make sure that we have all the right people at the table to have this conversation. Is there anyone else that's on this deed that I need to be aware of to include in this conversation? Because we don't want to, bypass any of the important decision makers once we proceed.
No, just me.
Just you? You're the only person on the deed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. To prepare for the meeting, I am going to send you some information about my company, about who I am. Let me just confirm the email address that I have on file. So it's your first name, Aaron.Wittenstein at gmail.com, just to confirm. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll send you a calendar invite for Tuesday between 4 to 6. I'll send it to your email address. Please confirm it. If I don't receive a confirmation by Monday, then I'm going to assume that you're not able to make the appointment. I do ask that you be respectful of my time as I am respectful of yours. If you can't, just let me know that you're unable to make it, okay?
Okay.
All right, wonderful. Aaron, listen, it was really a pleasure talking to you today. I look forward to our meeting. I am very confident that we're going to leave that meeting with being able to have a strategy in place to accomplish some of those real estate goals you have in mind.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay.
Yeah,
Where did this insane confidence come from? Oh my gosh. Like, because here's the thing is like, you just, I mean, for being someone in the business and for less than a year, you radiate confidence.
thank you,
You're,
Aaron. Don't make
you're
me
welcome.
blush.
No, blush away. You've earned the right to blush. But like, is that just something that who you are? Have you built that in from past business experience? Like, where did that come from? Because it's 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 pretty awesome.
Thank you so much. I received that compliment. Thank you. I want to say a piece of it is in the DNA, but I want to also say another piece of it comes from having excellent training from these Fortune 100 companies that I've worked with for the over 20 years. And like I said, I've done corporate sales. And so coming into an environment when you're having to talk to the CISOs and the CTOs and the CEOs, you better come in there knowing what you're talking about.
Well,
You better know. Don't come in there talking to somebody in IT and don't have the confidence to make them believe and know what you're saying is true. So I think I've been trained.
Yeah. Well, so let me ask you this then, because you have a lot of newer people that are coming in that don't have the corporate background. Okay.
Mhm.
That are very timid, shy, overwhelmed, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what pieces of advice would you give from your corporate background that you had to help radiate into the real estate industry for some of these new agents?
No, absolutely. That's such a great question. Um, what I can share is this is a position where you have the opportunity to have no ceilings in reference to how much you're going to make. And if you're sitting there focused on a no, then you have already put yourself in a position of a limited belief. So you have to be in a situation where you believe in your heart and in your soul that there is no limits to how much you can make. And the only way that you're going to be able to get to that point is through activity. And the only way that you're going to be able to push through activity is to know that, hey, although there's going to be some no's, some hangups, some rejections, there's always somebody out there that's willing to say yes. And all you need is that one yes on that phone call. In the state of Georgia, probably a home sells on an average, between 375 or so. That's a commission check for $8,000. And so would you be willing to continue to dial and to continue to have the activity and get 100 no's just so you can get that one yes, so you can get that $8,000 check? I am. I want a whole bunch of those.
I think you're going to get them. By the way, I mean, you're going to get not even one. You know what I mean? Like you're at it, which is
But
no,
if
it's
you
just
have that thought process, Aaron, like if you're thinking like, hey, no matter what, I can make as much money as I can. I just got to look past the nose. That's how I look at it.
well because I mean, if you take it every $8,000 a check, right? How many yeses does it take? How many no's does it take to get to yes? You divide that by that, and that's like if every single no is worth like someone says no, like okay, thanks, you just made me $150.
I
You just made
appreciate
me
it.
$150. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. You
Thanks.
know, it's the go for no concept. You know, if no one's ever read that
Absolutely.
book. No, this is no, and that makes a lot of sense because to at least in this business is once you gain that confidence level, okay. It does it get shook every now and then? Yes, it does. Okay, I've been doing this forever. You get shook, it happens. But once you have that, you can always go back to that, right? And it comes down to action and practice and mindset and everything that you just explained, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing, right? Like Vulcan 7 has so many leads inside of it. Even if you make a phone call and you don't say it exactly right on that one phone call, that's okay because there's another phone call right behind it. And so I don't want anyone to feel discouraged making these calls because there's so many of those calls that are out there that even if you wasn't able to say it perfectly on that particular call, you have the next opportunity to do so. My recommendation to everyone is that, at least 15 minutes before you actually do your outbound dials, pull your scripts up, pull
There
them
you
up,
go.
right? And at least like say them as fast as you can 5 times, right? Because this is where we're getting ready to create that muscle memory. So just 15 minutes before you do those outbound calls, just start running through those scripts, saying them as fast as you can. Do it 5 times. Look in the mirror, record yourself. I do that sometimes. I'll record myself over the phone, and as I'm driving around, I'll listen to myself. Saying the scripts and everything. And so just practice the scripts. And once you practice them, they're going to become a natural conversation and you won't feel so nervous. I think people start doing the scripts. They feel like a robot because they're trying to read them line for line. Those scripts are not created for that reason. That's not the purpose of it. It's only to have a baseline of what to have a conversation about, right? So my advice to everybody is practice the scripts.
Okay, do
Practice.
me a favor because my next question was going to be
Yes.
is give me one piece of advice for a brand new agent. So can you just repeat what you just said in a nutshell? Because
Yes.
you beat me to the punch, by the way. So thank you for doing that. You're making now I get to look crazy. But what's one piece of advice? Take it back a second that you would give to a brand new agent.
Oh my gosh. My advice would absolutely be practice your scripts. Do not be as scared of the scripts. I know that as agents, there's 1,000 things that we can do. But my advice to you is to really, really become one with the scripts. Before you get on your calls, before you do your outbound prospecting, take about 15 minutes and just say those scripts real fast 5 times. Take the time to actually record the scripts. Sometimes I just get on my phone and I'll record myself saying the script. And as I'm driving around, I'll listen to it, but become very familiar with it. But don't be so familiar that you're saying it word for word, line for line, because when we're reading scripts, sometimes we're not active listeners and then we miss the important details to be able to actually get that listing appointment. That script is really used as a framework or a base or a foundation, so look at it from that standpoint. But that would be my advice: practice your scripts. People want to talk to you. Please don't think for 1 second there's not one person out there that wants to have a conversation with you about real estate. You just got to find that one person, and you can do that through Vulcan 7.
There we go. All right, let's wrap this up in a bow here. What are your final words for Vulcan 7 Nation?
Vulcan 7 Nation. Okay, listen, family. Listen, I am really here to tell you to do not give up on this program, on this software. It is going to take your business to the next level. 2025, I have a goal of making $350,000, and I'm really, really excited because based on my pipeline, it looks like I'm moving in the right direction. Okay. So I'm here to tell you, do not give up on this program. You're going to have days that may not be great. You might even have a week that's not great. But guess what? The next week might be even better. So hang in there, stick with the program, make your calls. And then at the end of the day, let's all make some money, family. That's why we here.
There we
That's
go,
why we
baby. There we go. All right, Joss. Let's say someone is an agent somewhere in Minneapolis, Minnesota, has someone that's moving to Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
How does one get in touch with you for said referral?
Absolutely. So listen, Atlanta, Georgia, I am your homegirl in the A, but I also deal with all of the surrounding areas. What you'll know about me is that I'm actually a native of Atlanta, so I know Atlanta. I know the neighborhoods, I know the streets, I know the schools. You can definitely contact me. My information is that I am a part of the car group at Keller Williams First Atlanta. My email is info@joslinton.com. So info at JOSLINTON.com. And then, like I said, if you want to find me on the web, you could just type in Jos Linton and it'll automatically take you to my website. And so, like I said, this has really been great, Aaron. I appreciate it. I really enjoyed this conversation with you. And I hope everyone that's seeing this particular call, I hope that you actually take advantage of this program. I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
There we go. Joss, this was amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want everybody to do two things. Remember, go make some money and don't forget to what? Trust the process. Y'all take care now. Be good.